All right, dudes, what's up? Welcome back. Happy to have you here. Do you like this new lighting? You would think that I've got a window over here and I've got a key light over here. Probably about half of the window is actually open, giving me a nice little bit of fill. Anyway, that's all the geeky talk out the way. What I want to talk about today is the reality of progression within the creative industry, within creative careers. Ultimately, if you are thinking about getting into a creative career with a company or you're thinking about starting a creative business, I want to basically just discuss what I see and one of the biggest problems that I see with the progression of a creative career. Now, everything starts off kind of born out of this passion. You have something that you love to do, whether it be video, photo, design, web building, even art, right? All of this sort of stuff. And then you think to yourself, well, I love doing this thing so much that I really want to do this thing for the majority of my time. Is what I want to spend most of my time doing. So you think, great, that's fantastic. I found something that I love doing, and I found something that I love doing most of the time. And hopefully, and the reality is that you can actually get paid a decent wage for doing this thing for the majority of your time, right? Which is fantastic. And you start off in either a junior level position or a midweight position, or you start off kind of doing your own business and getting your own clients and stuff like that. And it's great, and you're doing the work and you love it, and it feels like a super fulfilling thing to do. And then you think to yourself, well, you know, there's people out there that are earning a lot more money than what I seem to be earning. So I want to try and do that. Right, I want to try and actually earn a bit more money for kind of the skills that I have and the value that I bring to the market, right? So then you go out, and if you're running a business, then you acquire more clients. And if you're within a career, you set your sights on a senior position or a management position, right? And here's where the issue now comes in, is that the progression of a creative career ultimately leads you to stop doing the thing that you initially loved doing in the first place. It leads you to stop following your passion and ultimately kind of shoots you just into this management position. Because if you think about it from a business perspective, if you want to earn more money, you've got to take on more projects. You haven't got unlimited time, which means that you need to hire people to do the work, because a much higher leverage thing for you to do as the business owner is to manage the projects and speak to the clients and get more work in, right? So really what you've done is you've, in my case, started off loving video, but ultimately turned yourself into a salesman or an appointment setter, because it's a higher level thing to do than to edit the videos or to go and shoot the videos, right? If you're in a creative career, you've done a very similar thing. It's just that you don't need to get the clients in. You just need to communicate with the clients and then the team that you have underneath you in order to get the projects over the line, right? And make sure that the clients are happy. Now, it's a real shame, because I think that ultimately you are getting penalized for being good, right? So that if you are moving up within your career, or if your business is taking off through word of mouth or whatever that might be, or you're getting fantastic results for your clients, you're clearly doing well, right? But ultimately, the reward for doing well is the fact that you are doing less and less of the work that you love and enjoy doing the most. However, there is well, from a business, I don't know about career because I've never had a creative career, right? But from a business perspective, there is a silver lining to this quite depressing cloud, right? In that if you keep going, and if you keep working, and if you keep building, and you keep stacking, and you keep developing, eventually what you can end up doing is working only on the things that you love to work on, because you have the financial resources and the freedom from the team that you've built, right, to enable you to do only what you want to do within your life. And that's something that I've been ruminating on and marinating on for a decent amount of time on walks and stuff like that with my mentor. I've been going back and forth, kind of figuring out exactly what it is that I want to do and what the future that I'm building for myself actually looks like. And ultimately, I think it's just one of those acceptance things that I know that over the next 5 to 10 years, the majority of my time that I spend at work isn't things that I particularly enjoy doing the most, but I'm willing to forsake that time in order to essentially have a life that most people dream of or will never have, because they're not prepared to kind of put in the work and stuff like that. And I hope that I don't want that to sound like cocky. I don't want that to sound like these gurus who are like, you know, you've got to work hard because nobody else will. It's just kind of the reality of it, right? But if you are thinking about jumping into a creative career, I would really, really think about whether this is the thing that you want to do in order to earn money, or if it's just something that you want to do because you love doing it, in which case I may look at a different thing to earn you the money, and just do the creative hobby like in the background. And you probably won't take this advice, and I know that if I was listening to this, I'd think, fuck you, don't tell me what to do. So the reality is that probably some people that are out there are probably thinking the same thing as well. But ultimately, you you can only go so far in a creative career before you end up in a management position. Like, your earning potential is capped if you don't want to go into that management position, because it's just high leverage for the business, right? And then if you're a business owner, you have to accept the fact that in the first few years you're going to do what you love. In the next few years, or the next probably 10 years, you're not going to do what you love as much. But you forsake those 10 years in the hopes that off the back of it, you're going to get to do whatever you want to do with your life. And if that means making music at 2 p.m. on a Friday because everybody else is doing the things that the clients need, then that's amazing as well. Hopefully this is useful for you. Hopefully it's a bit of an insight. Let me know down in the comments if you enjoy it. I'll catch you very, very, very soon, I'm sure. Goodbye.